So without further ado, the eCast homepage. If you've logged in, you've gotten to this page, or it may take you directly there. This is what the eCast homepage now looks like. You'll note that we have different tiles up at the top. If you click on this button here, it'll rotate through them. Each one of these tiles represents a different category of errors. Your data entry errors is going to be kind of a total of all errors. If you click on these, the table below interacts with it, so that your admin notices are those procedural errors or your clients that don't qualify. Patient navigation, clicking on the blue tile, is going to include clients who have come in and had one screening but are scheduled to have another, or are in line to have another screening. Your case management tile is going to be those individuals that have had an abnormal in their initial screening and need to come back in for further immediate follow-up. Clicking those tiles over, your cancer cases, this mimics your cancer report, and then your procedural errors. We also have the healthy behavior session errors here if you are a YWO user. Now, a special note on these, particularly if you're going through, working through cases, a couple of features in regard to these tables. One, the tables are unique to which tile you click on, so heads up on the title here to make sure you're looking at the right one. You can hit Excel and kick this entire thing out and do an Excel document. You can hit PDF and do the same. If you click on this button, it will take you directly into that screening where you need to address that case management issue. Again, the tables are unique for the individual tiles, so it's a pretty neat feature in regard to categorizing the way in which we search for things. And speaking of search, we have two search bars on the home page. You'll note in this one, we're looking for you to use the name of the individual. Let's say I'm looking for myself. You'll see that it cycles through. It's looking through every single individual we have in there that could potentially be named Nicholas. And once it's done cycling, you'll note that the new client button is now available. If we hit clear, you'll note that it's not available. We're asking that you search for individuals before you find them. Now this will kick up a name and a date of birth upon the results on it, and a note on where we are here. We're in a testing and training environment, so all information within the system that we're going to see here is de-identified, no PHI that we're looking at right now. Now, the reason it's working so hard on Jane is that everybody is named Jane in here, so it may cycle for just a little bit to look through every client that we have in eCast. So when your search results come back in, let's say we put in the start of Thompson. Again, this is de-identified information. Individuals are all given either Jane or Janie Thompson or Testington, all falsified, or let's just say non-PHI individuals. So once you get that on that individual, you can click there and go into their record. The other search feature up top here allows you to, if you know the client's individual eCast client ID, you can click that in here, click Get Client. It'll take you directly to that client's information. Or if you know the screening information, let's steal one from down here, 499027, and then click Get Screening. It'll take you directly into that screening. One note on the tables over here, if you click on this, we'll just show a little magic real quick, it takes you directly into that screening, which is pretty magical. Alright, back to the home page. So we have two types of searching devices. We have a whole slew of categorical fun with the errors tables here that also are PDF or Excel exportable, so it kind of replaces a few reports. You have a budget tracking piece over here, which may or may not be contract specific depending on how the eventual outcome of it goes, but a pretty neat feature, I think, is the client history. So these are the individuals that you've most recently worked on. So the last client that you were in will be the top of the chart here, and it'll go there. You can search through on next. You can get all the way to last to get to the latest one captured, but that's another way to go into a patient record. So if you click on the client ID, it takes you to a page that looks like this. We'll dive into this a little later on. Lots of nifty stuff going on in here. Back to that home page. On a couple of those tiles, you're going to notice that you get a little bit more of a feature underneath. You get this plus sign. Now that's going to tell you a couple of things about that individual. It's going to tell you what the exact error message is, when it was last updated. Also gives you the screening ID. So this is just a little further information as to what you're looking to do in eCast in clearing those errors. So that's the fun of the home page. We also have contact support up here. We'll get to that a little later. Reports will take you over to a page that should look pretty familiar to everybody. It's very similar to how the reports looked in the previous version of eCast. So the reports will eventually pop up as a list that looks very familiar to folks. These colorectal things will be removed from eCast. eCast is now solely the province of breast, cervical, and cardio screening. So that's how you would get to reports from the home page. So that's the home page. That's the new deal on how to get in. One other thing, these filters do work if you're looking for, say, a specific agency in here. You could narrow it down to that. You could do it by client name. That would also narrow it down. So anything that you see in the table that you want to search by, you can put into the filter and it'll pop the table for whatever you are actually looking for. So that completes the home page. On to the next feature, adding a new client.